Errol Spence says he should be the underdog in the Terence Crawford fight. Is that fact or fiction? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, Errol the Truth Spence Jr. recently gave some interviews, and he spoke about the situation when it comes to the betting or who's going into the fight as the favorite. Now, he's definitely the A side in this fight. Nobody's going to argue that anymore. It's been umpteen years of arguing A side, B side in this fight. He's definitely the A side. But when it comes to betting lines and what people who are betting on the fight feel like the outcome is going to be, as of now, Terence Crawford is a slight favorite to win the fight. I don't know what people are actually basing this off of, but he's a slight favorite. I for the most part, think people are basing that off of his undisputed status at the lower weight, but they're not factoring in everything when it comes to this fight.
And it's going to prove not only the best welterweight in the world, it's going to prove who the best fighter in the world is.
Want to get my 2 cents on what's going on and, break it down for whoever's listening. Alright, so should Errol Spence be the underdog in this fight? In my personal opinion, for whoever cares, I don't think so. I don't think Errol should be the underdog. I don't think anybody should doubt that he's going to do exactly what he's been doing as a welterweight. Now, I do feel like he has an Achilles heel, which is his, lack of footwork and slow movement. But, watching Errol Spence, seeing how he fights, how he operates in the ring, there's a reason for his slow footwork, slow movement. But a really good fighter is going to take advantage of that. And Terence Crawford just happens to have good boxing skills and some good movement and a little bit of speed. Maybe not the most elite ever, but definitely more than Errol Spence. Nobody can argue that. So I think when people look at it like that, and especially after seeing the Vasily Lomachenko Devin Haney fight, I don't think a lot of people feel like Errol, for lack of a better word, is going to be able to take advantage of Terence Crawford and kind of like weight bully Terence Crawford.
That piggybacks on what I said before. It shows that I'm the greatest fighter of this era. No man have captured undisputed in 2 different weight classes.
But I don't see it that way. I think both of these guys are talented in their own way. I think Errol definitely probably has the best jab in the business, and if he's able to utilize that jab in any way in this fight, I see him winning the fight.
Let me say something.
I think if he's able to utilize his size in any way, I see him winning the fight. I think if he's able to utilize his power in any way, I see him winning the fight. But when it comes to Terence Crawford, I only see one way for him to win the fight, and that's by out-quicking Errol Spence. This is the reason I always go back to this. I've had Manny Pacquiao for years and years and years beating Errol Spence because of the speed. That's his Achilles heel, is speed. Nobody's been able to utilize speed in an Errol Spence fight as an opponent up until this point. So we have to sit back, wait, and see if that's going to be the main focus of Terence Crawford's game plan. Now, I think personally Terence Crawford is going into this with the wrong game plan. I think he's going in thinking that he can dominate Spence with just great boxing skills and try to knock this guy out. I think that's completely the wrong game plan. I don't see Terence Crawford or his power being good enough to knock Errol Spence out or even down, really. I think he could be dominant the same way Vasyl Lomachenko was dominant, with quick hands, quick feet, quick movement, and you can overwhelm him. But I've never seen Terence Crawford versus a guy as big as Earl. I've never seen Terence Crawford have to, knock someone down or out that big. So I can't even give a good analogy on how he would pull that off. I don't think his power is that good. Yes, when he's versus an opponent that he's overmatched or someone that's on their way into retirement, he's probably got a great chance of knocking those guys down or out. But when you versus a credible opponent, somebody who's never been through that in their career, somebody who's never been dominated as a welterweight, then you have to start questioning whether he can actually pull that off. I'm not saying he can't win, but can he actually pull off a knockdown or a knockout?
Maybe it's me. I'm a little fucked up, maybe.
And if he does, we really got to start thinking, I really got to start thinking about Terence Crawford differently as a fighter. This guy, one of the greatest, because he would have pulled off something nobody else has been able to do. 3 other champions tried it and failed. And he would have done it as the naturally smaller of the 2 fighters. He would have done it as the not favorite going into the fight. He would have done it as the B-side. So, in a lot of ways, Terence Crawford is the underdog in this fight. But when it comes to the betting lines and where people are putting their money at, they're putting their money on Crawford because he's already been there. He's been undisputed. He's been, the king of the lightweight division. Does that, carry over to 147? We have yet to see and that's Terence Crawford's own fault because he hasn't fought the best competition at 147. Now, he's had opportunities to fight some of the best competition. I think with one fight, he could have changed everybody's mind. If he would have fought Manny Pacquiao while both guys were on top rank, that one fight would have solidified him as, a legend already. He would have never really needed the Errol Spence fight. He could have actually moved to 154 with just the Pacquiao win. It's crazy because I don't feel like Ugas got his just due for beating Pacquiao, but I think if Terence Crawford or Errol Spence would have knocked him off, it would have been a much different response. People would have taken that victory and ran with it, But because Ugas don't speak English, because Ugas isn't from America, I think he kind of got the short end of the stick on the Pacquiao fight. But, it is what it is. I actually hope that he rematches Pacquiao. He can either prove that it wasn't a fluke or Pacquiao can get his get back, and that would be great for Pacquiao's career if he really wants to get back into the ring. Just go ahead and rematch Ugas, man, and beat him like you were supposed to do the first time. And, maybe that'll put you in line for the winner of this fight. We never know. We never know what's going to happen when it comes to those 147 belts after this fight. Are these guys moving up? If Terence Crawford wins, is he going to continue to campaign at 147? Is this the end of an era with this fight? We just got to wait and see, man. There's a lot of questions to be answered. One question I do know, and I would have to agree, it doesn't really matter who's the underdog in this fight. I'm riding with Errol Spence, and I think he's saying that for a reason. Because, going into the fight, the A-side or the underdog really don't matter. He's going in there to handle business, and he looks like he's going to handle business.
You haven't beat anybody undisputed at 140. You fought at 135, and who you fought at 147. Even you fought Sean Porter. Even Sean Porter said,
What did I do to Sean Porter that you couldn't
Sean
do?
Porter said he did not train like he should.
Business as usual. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Sure. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product on the channel, hit that same Gmail and we can make it happen. It's your boy, and we are
I ride 'em around with a group of players. Put super haters down like euthanasia. Plus my flow kinda smart like the euthanasia. Put haters in the ground like rutabagas. 3 hustles so my money might triple. Mouthpiece cold so I make Mike sickles. I might vic ya, I night stick ya. Stand out like black tits with white nipples. Dirty money on the track, but I'm so clean. New watch looking nice, but I'm so mean. Mean mug your whole team, let my gold gleam. X pills got me rolling, it's no thing.
You may be that type that quickly straddle your wife and quickly pull out the pipe and easily ruin your life. Now Jimmy kinda cool, in many cases I'm smooth, but test me with the 2, I'm leaving more than that bruise. Forgive me cause this nigga kinda shifted. Don't let milky toes like a baby with a titty. Young nigga break it down in many ways. Eat break your chicken, break it down for many days. I'm a crazy nigga, I got balls just like a tiger, teeth just like a bird. Fuck with me, you retire. Cold summers in the winter, know that bring the fire. You gonna fuck me over, you's a liar, man.
Fresh fitted black tee, man, I'm all way together. Yeah, I keep it in the street, man, I'm all way together. I do a hater bad, man, cause we getting cheddar. Tell me how you get your cash, cause I'm all way together.
Through that, I'm Rothstein, but the name don't matter. Just listen to the flow and watch the fame grow fatter. I flame throw rappers till they blow away in ashes, go away in caskets, knowing they was average. Niggas in the past didn't see me getting established. Now tracks I smash it, Rothstein a savage. Rothstein's a prodigy, catch me with habit. I don't rob niggas, they tell me that I can have it. Aquarius, meaning I don't bar embarrassment. Been through trials, ran more miles than Darius. Making so much green, I'm beefing with asparagus. Crown, I'm wearing it, cocky and arrogant.
I redefine the reason for rhyme, read through the lines, giving the mind to shine, but designed for crime. I got a dime that's refined with 9, she'll blow your mind and she'll ride the pine. If I'm lying, I'm dying, live life like eye for eye. Spend my days getting high, nightlife like ride or die. I put in work like a 9 to 5. Throw a wise guy from the highest rise, tell him try to fly. If he dies, he dies. Get your rhyme provided. You can stay or you can fight, but it's time to decide. Besides, I'm not the guy you should try to defy. I can find where you lie like a private eye.
Fresh fitted black tee, man, I'm all way together.